What is the degree theory? What is this all about? Well, in your natal chart, there are astrological placements that you have. Venus in this sign, Mars in this sign. But you have your Venus placement or your Mars placement and your Mars placement at a certain degree. And that degree is significant based off of the sign of that degree, the sign that it rules. So there are 29 degrees, because that's how many degrees a planet moves through a sign. So the first degree, the second degree, etc. And that 0 degree is the very, very beginning. And it's about focus. And I was watching and learning about this degree as it's the most. The sign can express itself in its purest and a really intense and focused way with the 0 degree. And then you have 29 degrees, that 0 degree of the cardinal signs. Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn is known as the Aries pointer, which is super initiatory. You can, brand new beginnings, fresh starts. You can launch something, take action, make a change that you need to. It's just, very novel with that particular degree. But then you move to, the other degrees. So just like there's 12 signs in the zodiac, the first degree is an Aries degree, the second degree is Taurus, the third degree is Gemini, and so on until you get to the 12th degree. Now, that 13th degree begins the cycle all over again. So let's start at Aries. The 14th degree is Taurus. The 15th degree is Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo. So the first 13th and 25th degrees are ruled by Aries. The second, 14th, and 26th degrees are all Taurus degrees. The third, 15th, and 27th degrees are Gemini degrees. The fourth, 16th, and 28th degrees are Cancer degrees. The fifth, 17th, and 29th degrees are Leo degrees. Then we have the 6th, and then the 18 degrees 6 and 18 are Virgo. Degrees 7 and 19 are Libra degrees. Degrees 8 and 20, if you have any planets at either 8 degrees of the sign or 20 degrees of the sign, those are Scorpio degrees. The 9th degree and the 21st degree are Sagittarius degrees. The 10th degree and the 22nd degree are Capricorn degrees. The 11th and then the 23rd degree are Aquarius degrees, and then the 12th and 24th degrees are Pisces. So you can see that the themes of those zodiac signs, you can sort of tie them into the meaning of that degrees, and that adds a whole nother layer of meaning to the planet in a certain sign, how it expresses itself, in what area of life it expresses itself, which is the house. The house is, where do these placements show up? The area of life where you express this energy or you have these experiences with this planet and this certain sign. Because the houses are the where. The planet is the what, the sign is the how it expresses itself, and then the where is the houses. And then you add the degree in another way. It's even more specific, and it is so accurate. When you tie the meaning of the degree into that. So, my sun in Aries, which is, courageous, pioneering, bold, assertive, can be very blunt. Um, it's focused on the individual. My sun is at 16 degrees of Aries, which is Cancer. So, and it's in the fourth house, mind you. So, um, Cancer is about nurturing. It's about home and family and being very genuine, being very gentle, being loving and caring. So, those are all themes that I do express my Aries qualities and traits mostly at home and in my family. That's where I can honestly say that's where it shows up, because of that sun in the fourth house. Example, because the fourth house is Cancer, roots, your lineage, family, all of those traits. And my moon is in the 10th house, um, at 26 degrees, which is a Taurus degree in Libra. So maybe feeling content with having, the simple pleasures, the finer things in life, beautiful environment, peace, good food, those creature comforts, um, are ruled by Taurus, security, material things that bring me stability. So that's all sort of 26-degree related areas, and in Libra, which wants peace and balance, and etc. My moon is in the 10th house, and from personal experience, I've sort of been more introverted when it came to the public settings, or um, uh, being in public, um, places of, when I went to school, in high school, middle, and then grade school. And that does pertain, by the way, grade school pertains to elementary and middle school. So whenever you hear people say grade school, they're talking about grades 1 through 12. Now, um, you know, this is where I found that I was more, or find that I'm more shy and introverted when, um, on my own in, public, or, as I said, when I was in school, and more, outgoing, and more of myself, and more, Aries, unafraid to be myself, assertive, all those traits, um, at home, in my home environment. Um, and so, those are all just, a couple of examples. And I'm, really stepping into a version of myself that is not as shy and, sort of, um, you know, those traits. I'm really, opening up in, huge ways now. Um, but I am who I am, and maybe, I am shyer in certain public situations, but I really, that's just how I present myself in those situations. I will be myself of who I am. Um, and so, the final thing to note here, just, in general, my natal chart, is my Uranus in Pisces in the, fifth degree, which is Leo, which is the performer. It, deals with pleasure. It deals with, you shining, being who you are. Um, you sharing your gifts, self-expression, creativity. Uranus in Pisces, which is, deals with the imagination, the dreams, the, visions. It's also very creative, very artistic, um, very out of this world, wants, to escape. And so I've sort of, when I was little, when I was younger, I used to do a pretend thing where I would pretend to be in the very room that you're seeing me in now. teaching. I would pretend to teach. I would pretend to have something which I called Mementing, which was a sort of a blend between a school and then a place where I would pretend to invite guests in and tour them around and honor them with their traits and characteristics and the things that they've done, their achievements, their talents. Um, and I would pretend to make plans like, well, we're going to do this occasion's going on. So it was super fun. Um, and I was, performing, and I was really, it was a creative outlet for me when I could really express myself in ways that I would not have the courage and bravery and um, just confidence. I wanted to feel comfortable expressing those characteristics in certain public situations. But so that's just a little note on that. But anyways, that's just a little astrology, tidbit about the degree theory. There was an astrologer, Nicholas, I forget his last name, but below in the description is a link to a podcast episode that I was watching on the degree theory so that you can understand this in more detail. But I hope that was great for now. Bye, everyone.